today. I should be back Thursday unless I get sick. I'm hoping that I'm back. Honestly, it gets a little tiresome not being here in some ways, but I know that's hard for you to believe. But we're going to go over lesson 64, and at the end I'll discuss what we're going to do with all this homework that you've had and how we're going to handle the tests that we're supposed to take tomorrow, that type of stuff. So let's just get right into it. We're going to find the area and perimeter of objects that are cut into different shapes. We've done this a little bit with area and perimeter, but we haven't had this semicircle. Notice it's not a full circle, it's a half of a circle. And a half of a circle means we're going to, when we find the circumference of it and we find the area of that circle, we're going to have to take it by half. It's kind of like the triangle. The triangle is half of a rectangle. Semicircle is half of a circle. So to find perimeter of this, we're given the lengths here of each of these straight edges or straight sides, but we're not given the circumference from here around. So we're going to treat it like it's a full circle to begin with. So circumference is pi d. Remember our pi d, pi r squared. Pi d, pi r squared. So pi, 3.14. The diameter. We get our diameter by looking at this. This length they're giving us is a radius of 5. So the diameter would be 10. We multiply 3.14 times 10 mentally is 31.4. That would be the circumference if it was a full circle. We just want half of that, so we're dividing that by 2. That is 15.7, I believe, for that length. That is your circumference, or the perimeter of the semicircle. And then you add those 4 lengths together. 15.7, 15. Make sure you line up your decimals. And 11.18. Add those together, and that would give you your perimeter. Okay. Again, I'm going to try to get this on Edmodo so that you can watch it again. I was having problems just a couple minutes ago getting Edmodo to open up here, so I'm not sure if I'll get that taken care of or not, but I will continue to try. Now, area. I'm going to erase some of this red marking here to hopefully clean this up for you a little bit. All right, area. We have 3 different shapes in this problem that we're going to have to find the area. We have the triangle. We have the triangle here. We have the rectangle. Looks like a square. Maybe it is. I don't know. Actually, I do know. But that's irrelevant. And then we have the area of the semicircle. So let's start with the area of the triangle. We know from the previous problem that the diameter of the circle here was 10. So that would be the height of that object. So the height of the triangle right here is 10. And our base, if the whole bottom is 15 and this part's 10, that leaves me with 5. So 5 times the height of 10 is 50. Then we divide that by 2. It gives us an area of 25. So the triangle has an area of 25. The rectangle, well, we have a 10 by 10, so it is a square. 10 times 10 is 100. That's pretty easy. Now we just have to find the area of the semicircle. Same deal on this. Find the area of this as if it was a full circle, so you're not trying to divide anything by half and that type of stuff until we get to the end. Area of a circle, pi r squared. 3.14, forgot my 1, times the radius. Now we're going back to that 5. Radius is 5. Square that. 3.14, 5 squared is 25. Get your calculator. I told you you can use your calculators for the arithmetic on these circles. So I'm going to take 3.14, and do use 3.14. Don't use the pi amount on your calculator. Just type in 3.14 times 25 gives you 78.5. Now that we have the area of what it would be if it was a full circle, we'll divide that by 2 because we just want half of the circle. 78.5 divided by 2 is 39.25. Divide that by 2, 39.25. And then add those three areas up to get your total area. All right, same deal on this one. Find the perimeter. Let's do the easy part here. The radius is 5 on that semicircle, so the diameter would be 10. If that diameter is 10, that length is 10 here. Now don't look at this 4 and 6 and think that this is automatically 10 because 4 is the radius. That means that the diameter is 8. It's not drawn to scale. Don't ever assume you know a length just by how it looks. So if this is 8, that's 8, and 6 means that this base is 14. So we have those links for our perimeter, but we have to find the semicircle amount. So we're going to start with the little one right here. Circumference of this circle is going to be pi d. That's 3.14 times the diameter we just wrote down as 8. Go get my calculator. Just need to hang on to it, don't it? 3.14 times 8 is 25 and 1200ths. And then we divide that by 2 because it's a semicircle. So divide by 2. Try again here. 25 and 1200ths divided by 2 is 12.56. I should know that without having to use a calculator. 12.56. So that is this. Now I need to do the same thing to find this one. Okay. So circumference is pi d, and I'm just in the habit of writing that each time, so you'll see me do that. This time the diameter is 10, so that's 31.4, and if we take 31.4 and divide that by 2, it gives us 15.7. So then we'd take our lengths of, I'm just going to circle them in red. I'm not going to do this, but I've got 10, 14, 15.7, which is that, 6, and 12.57, which is that. Add those together. That would be your circumference, your perimeter. Sorry. Okay. It is a little lengthy. That's why I'm letting you use calculators. Show your process. If you try to do a bunch of this in your head, it's going to get complicated. And I'm going to clear this so I can do the area. If you want to see this again in a minute or later, you can watch it on Edmodo. Let's go back. We had 10 and 14. We knew that. So the area of our rectangle here is going to be 140. 10 times 14. 10 times 14. I just have to find the areas of my circle. So start with the little one. Pi r squared is area. So I have 3.14 times the radius, which is 4 on this one, squared. 3.14 times 16. Again, use my calculator. Times 16 is 50.24. But we have to divide that by 2 since it's a semicircle. So divide by 2, 25, 12. 25 and 12/100. So there's your area for your smaller semicircle, 25 twelfths. And then we find the area. I'm going to get a different color to get a little crowded here. We need to find the area now of this circle. So area, pi r squared, 3.14 times the radius on this circle is 5 squared. 3.14 times 25 is, I've done this enough, I should know it's 78.5, I think. 25 times 3.14 is 78.5 divided by, not equal to, divided by 2, 39.25. So that is the area of the smaller circle. So 39 and 25/100. Add those up. I am not going to do that. Don't want to waste time. You can see that that's the process. All right. Again, use a calculator on those. Show your steps. Use your calculator for arithmetic. We are going to assign 64, 1 through 30. And for now, I'm going to say this is due on Thursday. I'm only taking up 12 minutes of class, so you should have about 35 minutes of class time, depending on how quickly you got to this. I'm guessing how well you get seated, how quickly you get seated and ready to go. What we're going to do is take problem set 61. No, we're going to take 62, 63, 64, and we will grade those all on Thursday. So you'll turn all of those in Thursday. We're not going to take the test Thursday. I want to make sure that everybody's got everything in order, that we're caught up with the other tests that I need to get back to you. We just have a lot of things on Thursday we're going to have to do to get organized, back on track. So plan on the test being Friday at this point. So hopefully I will see you Thursday. Until that point, do the right thing, make good decisions, and behave yourselves.